I want to quickly just search. I'm just going to quickly search over here about what this Diddy thing is. Someone just said some madness about Diddy. If there's some news happened right now, then let's get it straight up, right? What the hell is that, man? I just clicked on something completely. Because then we've got to get onto this England shirt madness. Oh my god, it's live right now. There's feds outside the house live right now. We should have put this on straight away. What's this about? Breaking, Diddy on the run. Live video of Justin and King Combs arrested. First Coast News. This is actually live. Which one should I click on? Homeland Security just raided Diddy's house. What the fuck? Federal agents are on site at Sean Diddy Combs' homes in Miami and Los Angeles. This live feed shows his home in Miami. Whoa. That's wild, boy. I wonder what kind of charges we're dealing with here. Obviously, we've seen so many different things come out. That's not showing him there, is it? That's just police standing around there looking for him, right? There's no sound on this. Let's go to the next one.
The super sticker. John Edmonds said, "What's up? Tisa loving the yellow band. I can't with you saying Meek was caked up like it was next Tuesday. Diddy is a villain. Imagine the arrogance. You can't even let 50K go." That's the part that shocked me. All this happened but let's not forget that he originally got called to the carpet because he wouldn't settle with Cassie. Long Gone said Cassie had Kim Porter's burner phone and her book she was writing. Do you think that's true? Maybe. Anything's true at this point. Crystal Cole, girl, thank you so much for the super sticker. You said, Tisa, girl, you tried to tell him. Honestly, I feel for Misa. I do too. Because y'all know she's angry and afraid for her baby boy. Go get him, Tisa. These fools better start believing you. I'm looking at you, kids in Palace. If you guys have not been following my royal coverage, I know you might not care about what's going on over in Saltine Island. Baby, it's even more crazy and like...
I'm gonna come off YouTube because this is just someone giving their commentary, right? Let me try to get a news story. Let's get an actual news story up. Boom. Let's just get this up on the screen there. Diddy's LA home raided by Homeland. I'm not clicking on no Fox News. TMZ isn't better, but let's click on TMZ. At least they'll give you the whole tea. Homes in LA and Miami raided by federal agents. The scene at Diddy's Los Angeles area home appears to be winding down, and a new photo obtained by TMZ shows just how bustling it was with law enforcement activity. That's 2:52 p.m. We're going to go through it backwards here, obviously. Check out this picture which shows scores of agents and officers on the ground. Safe to say they went in locked and loaded. Time will tell what, if anything, they found. TMZ has obtained extra footage of the cops on the scene near Diddy's LA area home, and it looks like officers have shut down the entire area with helicopters swarming up above. There are at least 2 choppers in the area and a lot of police on the ground. Earlier today, Homeland Security Investigations New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. We will provide further information as it becomes available. Madness. Chris Hayes said about time in the comments. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ this case is being handled out of Southern District, New York. Reports say this appears to be tied to sex trafficking allegations which have been levied against Diddy in recent months from different plaintiffs. Whoa. Oh, that's his kids, right? King and Justin. Fox 11 has posted video that appears to show several individuals in handcuffs near the property, and a couple of them appear to be Diddy's sons, Justin and King Combs. We're not going to call them Coombs, right? Johnny. We've got Johnny Coombs in the chat. That's not him. TMZ has obtained additional footage that shows federal agents rolling up to Diddy's via water. Whoa, they came in on a mad thing. So it's like he was running away. Like they must have had him under oboe on a mad thing to be pulling up in like on the water, all these sides, all of that. Like he's gonna escape like Pablo Escobar. That's mad. Diddy is in the crosshairs of law enforcement on both coasts of America as federal agents have descended on his Beverly Hills home. The video shows armed agents standing on a boat, and they too appear to be armed. What's going on, bro? Law enforcement sources, and don't forget that there's the Tupac murder case going on, yeah? So obviously this is saying they know what it's about, but there is a person going on to trial for Tupac's murder who has implicated Diddy as being involved. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ that agents for Homeland Security are in the middle of raiding Diddy's properties. There are helicopters overhead and local law enforcement is also present, although we're told Homeland Security is the lead agency. There are law enforcement walking through the house with guns drawn, and there are people being questioned in the front of the house. We do not know if Diddy is present. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ this home on the East Coast is also being raided. We're told the home is in Miami. As you know, there have been multiple allegations in several civil suits against Diddy, including human trafficking, all which he has denied. Yo, they're getting him on some Andrew Tate charges. This is wild. Gleam said they're going to find Biggie, Pac and Aaliyah. All of them. You're going to find them actually there alive, yeah? Or you're going to find their bodies, like what we find in here. This is wild, Joe. This is actually wild. Wait. We have reached out to Diddy's rep so far, no word back. That is crazy. And we're seeing this live, like this is just getting reported now. Like, I want to refresh this because that was obviously getting updated, right? And then we're gonna go back to them live videos and see if there's anything updated. And then I'm gonna have to just check back on this. Yeah, that's just the winding down bit, right? That is a mazza. Whoa. Alright, I want to move on to something else. Well, let's just go back to the live. Let's go back. Is there anything breaking? Diddy's mansion gets raided by the feds. Oh, this is academics here. Let's watch academics is on.
My bad, I'm waiting until this goes past. With witnesses interviewed regarding allegations of sex trafficking. Witnesses, okay, that's a problem. With sex trafficking, assault, drug possession, illegal firearm possession. Wow. Why would Homeland Security? I thought Homeland Security was like meant to like, after, the horrific situation with 9/11, I thought Homeland Security was meant to like prevent things like that. Like, why do they care if Diddy's, having some orgies? He likes when other men have sex with his wives. That's his thing.
Yeah. So this is something that a lot of people don't know about HSI, which, I obviously always used to blame the agency for being really bad with marketing. Human trafficking is actually like an HSI-led crime. I know people say, oh, the FBI does it too, blah, blah. Yeah, they do. But I would say more than the HSI does it more often and are better at it. And the reason why a lot of times is because they could do human trafficking domestically with like U.S. citizens.
Oh, they got that Myron idiot on because he used to work for these. Like, he's police, isn't it?
As you see right now. And they can also do human trafficking with foreign nationals because the FBI doesn't really have the capability of doing investigations on foreign nationals on cases that also involve immigration. Like, yeah, they have immigration authority, but they don't have the ability to really deal with it, right? Because they don't have access to A files, immigration databases, a bunch of government jargon that I won't get into now. But
this is crazy.
The point is that the Bureau definitely, HSI definitely does human trafficking. They're the ones that actually prosecuted R. Kelly for it. So it's just something that they do that no one knows.
Hey, let me ask you a question. So, I've been honestly trolling with like Young Miami, and I'm like, whatever. But clearly, she's also spoken about certain sexual encounters and mentioned other women who actually accused Diddy of certain sexual, crimes. But she's like, hey, Diddy I could have had Diddy have you do this and third. How confident are you? Again, I know you know probably limited details, just like us. How confident are you that with all what we're seeing now,
Yeah, Gleam,
right?
the guy from Fresh and Fit, yeah.
That
Donut.
there was probably at least someone who was speaking to the government in telling them not only maybe what's going on, but maybe what they could find. Because that was the big thing with Mar-a-Lago, right? Like it wasn't just like, hey, just come in. It was like, hey, they got all them paperwork right over there. You know what I mean? So they came in with a purpose. They didn't just come in to run around and just like, kind of have like a house tour.
Yeah, so I'm 90% plus confident that they have sources that have been in all of these properties. That's how they're able to get actionable information, right? So I'm 90% sure. Number two, also, I wanted to mention this. Since I'm assuming they wrote these warrants, right? Whenever you write a search warrant, you need to allege the crimes that are being committed, right? So they probably wrote these search warrants. I think someone put firearms as well. They probably wrote these search warrants for sex trafficking, right? How the feds get venue with sex trafficking or human trafficking, whatever it is there needs to be an interstate nexus. As you can see clearly here, they got 3 properties in 3 different districts identified. That gives them the venue to now do with it because there's interstate nexus, which automatically is going to involve the feds. But as far as them having informants, etc., I'm 90% plus sure because for you to be able to get into a home on a search warrant, you need info that's fresh. That's really big on federal search warrants.
The way they're
fresh
attacking
information within the past few weeks.
Hey, okay. So let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
As someone who was a former agent, now we've all seen in the media that there's.
I'm gonna miss bits of this live pausing it, but I'm just gonna say it's a bit mad. I'm gonna listen to these lot because these man, Fresh and Fit academics, they're both red pill pagans. Like they're both pussies. I am against them. I hate their content. I'm calling out their content all the time. I'm gonna react to their content and show you why, like it's not for us, but they at the same time are the people that will find all the news about this story. So I kind of want to get it from them.
Been many allegations, but these allegations happen to be coming out via civil lawsuits. As someone who's only, your job is to pursue criminal
Here comes the
charges,
red pill talk.
how much could you piggyback off civil information or information alleged on a civil level to maybe either be a source of your investigation or even to pursue something even in terms of an overall investigation in trying to get somebody incarcerated? Because this is what people are thinking, right? Yo, you should have this is the whole thought for the hip-hop universe. Yo, if you would pay Cassie, she wouldn't have said nothing. If she ain't said nothing, nobody would have sued you, and basically no charges would have ever came because her speaking and her filing that civil lawsuit led to a lot of conversation in the media. Now maybe an investigation opened up. So how much do you guys weigh civil, lawsuits or, allegations of that sort?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. I'm 100% certain that they talked to Cassie. 100% certain that they probably
100%.
Went ahead, interviewed her, asked her what her experience was like, blah, blah, blah.
Why would you say 100%? Why would you say 100%?
Why would I say 100%? Because she was with him for so long, and she knows all the players. So if I'm running a human trafficking case like this or sex trafficking case like this, and I got someone that I know did a civil lawsuit and was very close to this individual for years, has intimate knowledge of where his properties are, has intimate knowledge of his associates, phone numbers, addresses, etc., because Cassie's probably privy to all that shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to interview her and being like, yo, I know you got your civil lawsuit, but we need some information, blah, blah, blah. Clearly, she don't like Diddy, so she's going to give all the information that they need. So I guarantee you, they talked to her, and even if she didn't have, let's say, hypothetically, she didn't have actionable information on, like, what's in the houses, right?
Yeah.
Let's say she didn't have it because she hadn't been there for so long. She can point them to other people that fuck with him that they can go and interview. That's also another big thing why I think that they definitely talked to her, because she can lead them in the right directions to get the information they need because she was with him for so long. So I'm 99% sure that they talked to Cassie. She led them to other people. They talked to those people. Some of those people turned. They got information. They went in these houses. They took pictures. They
Good.
gave actionable information.
Good.
They were just, getting all this evidence. And then, bam, next thing you know, all right, we got the probable cause for all 3 properties. Cool. We're going to do a multi-search warrant operation. They probably did a big-ass brief this morning with everybody there, right, on teleconference and everything in different jurisdictions, and they all hit the house at the same time. They all got the warrant signed around the same time and did the hit at the same time. Because keep in mind, once you get a search warrant, you have about 7 days to execute. You don't have to hit it right then and there.
Okay, so when do they have to turn over? Well, okay, so they already probably turned over the, I know Diddy's lawyers are either on the way to these properties or whatever the case. They have to give a copy of the search warrant to the lawyers, right?
They're going to give a copy of the return. I don't know if they're going to get, obviously Diddy's going to get a copy of the affidavit. That's what I want to read because that's going to happen.
But I might leave this for a sec, but that is crazy. I don't remember when they come for R. Kelly and all of that, or even Tate. I don't remember nothing like this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Diddy's a different animal. Tate pretends he's a billionaire. Diddy is very close to being one, at least. You know what I'm saying? So, and he, obviously does have big power and influence, and we've all known who he is our whole lives. This is a crazy story, man. I guess I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna check back on it, but for now, I want to keep it moving because, yeah, I can't just sit here and watch what's his name. I can't watch the Fresh and Fit nerd and Academics, another nerd, sitting there speculating about this must happen and this must happen. They're just whatever. They're just trying to get attention. Well, yeah. Anyway, wild. No report of him being arrested and all of that, though. You know what I'm saying? He might have done a Pablo Escobar thing, like through the tunnels and been out of there. You know what I'm saying? The way the way they come from is like it's like they've maybe felt he's about to do a run. I think I saw something saying Diddy on the run when I first searched it. Alright, 1 second. Last week I didn't have any of these problems, and this week is back to all the problems. I must have forgot to do something in my setup. Here we go. That's the screen I want to see, but let me just get the main screen up. Alright, we'll get Diddy out of here. I'll keep that tab open. And Fox News, maybe we watch one more, man. This is actually wild. It's crashed again. It's literally crashed again. I can't keep happening. So I'm gonna have to reset it again, and I'm gonna have to try and do something about it first. Yeah, I need to free up some space. Free up some RAM. So free up some RAM. It's not freeing up, man. Don't let my whole thing crash again. One sec. I will be back with you people. My computer is having a bit of a madness. It's dealing with a bit of a madness. Oh, there we go. I think that's back. I think that's got behaving a bit better. Right, cool. We're back onto that page. So yeah, I just pulled this back up. Diddy's home in LA raided. Just a bunch of people going live, I guess, doing their. Don't really want to click on Fox News, but it seems like they got the real scoop on it. Alright, let's watch a news story on it quickly then. Let's just watch a news story at least to give it the breakdown. We read it, obviously.
Law enforcement sources are telling ABC News that right now authorities are carrying out searches at properties associated with P. Diddy. This is all part of a federal investigation into human trafficking. They also say that this investigation has been ongoing now for several months. They add, our sources, that an arrest does not appear to be imminent at this time, but what you are looking at right now is live video of one of these searches being conducted. Now, this is a search that is happening at Sean Diddy Combs' Los Angeles home. This is in the Beverly Hills area, so you can see a tremendous amount of law enforcement.
So it's an arrest not imminent, so it might mean because they can't find him, or they might not even be intending to arrest him because they might just be looking to raid the house and gather evidence, right? Like with the Tupac murder thing the other day, they raided a house and then a couple months later he was arrested. So this might be where we find out some things proven, right? And like the naysayers and all that can shut up because they might pull out some real stuff from the house.
Present there all around that home. So this search just began here. There's also, as we understand, another search being conducted on the other side of the country in Miami, because we are hearing from Homeland Security that there are investigations going on using the assistance of HSI Los Angeles and HSI Miami, along with local law enforcement partners. We do understand that they will provide us with updates as possible, but this goes into multiple allegations against Sean Diddy Combs over the years. There's been several civil suits against him as well, including human trafficking, all of which he has denied as this has been ongoing. But again, clearly an escalation that we are seeing play out live right now in Los Angeles. I want to bring in our ABC News contributor and trial attorney, Brian Buckmeyer, who I know, Brian, you have been following this case for many months, and you bring it up to me all the time. And now I wouldn't call this the culmination. In fact, probably this is just the beginning, right? So what do you make of the fact that they've decided to carry out these two searches simultaneously and on other sides of the country here?
So, Kayla, you're right. I've been talking to this about this for too long. But what does it get you? What does a person need to have the ability to search a home? Probable cause. So what I'm doing is I'm looking backwards. How could a judge grant the ability to search these two homes, and why would you do it simultaneously? Probable cause being the belief, or at least having the quantity of information that a crime either did happen, is happening, or is going to happen. That's how law enforcement must have to prove to a judge or a court why they have the opportunity or the legal ability to search someone's home. Now, why would you do it in conjunction from one property and another at the same time? Law enforcement typically does this because they are worried that information or property or evidence may be hidden away or destroyed while you're searching one property. And so they're looking for something to corroborate the belief that they have that a crime did occur. And as you pointed out earlier, he's facing multiple allegations of sex trafficking. So perhaps that is a crime in which they're investigating. Perhaps that is what they're trying to seek more information from. But in order to search a home, you have to have probable cause. The only question is, probable cause of what?
Probable cause. And so, Brian, as you look at this and you watch this, and we'll shout if we see any more movement on these screens, but it is important to note, right, that this is all being run out of the Southern District of New York here. So there is a tremendous amount of coordination happening within law enforcement at the highest levels.
Absolutely. And the reason why I believe it's being coordinated out of the SDNY, or the Southern District of New York, which encompasses, for the most part, Manhattan, is a lot of the civil allegations stem from there, whether it be Cassie or the other 4 allegations or civil lawsuits that stemmed from it afterwards. And so what it appears to be, at least if you're thinking this is connected to the civil lawsuits, are that the SDNY is coordinating with the other agencies in Miami as well as Los Angeles to search the properties of Sean Combs to see if there's any evidence of that. Now, I can't think of anything off the top of my head what would be evidence of sex trafficking, predominantly something that might stick out as to something to corroborate what we've heard in these civil allegations. But
I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would be evidence of. What are you talking about? Like, every single crime they're going to find, like, you find computers, you have messages, you find documents. Like, what are you talking about, mate?
But if they find it, it could lead to further investigations. At this point, we're hearing that there's no potential arrest, but it doesn't mean there wouldn't be one in the future based on either.
Okay, so there's no potential arrest. That's what I was questioning before, whether they're not even trying to arrest him or he's not available to be arrested. So they're not even trying to arrest him. They're just trying to get all the evidence, and they try to hit him hard out of the blue.
More information collected, or if they're finding whatever it is that they're hoping to find in these 2 locations.
And Brian, we do want to mention that we were initially told what we were showing our viewers here is a home in Los Angeles, California, near Beverly Hills. That is not the case. What you're seeing on your video on your screen is in fact Miami, and then they are also searching a home simultaneously in Los Angeles in the Beverly Hills area at the exact same time. And to Brian's point here, law enforcement does that often in an effort to make sure that these searches can be conducted without sort of tipping off anyone else that might be involved, which doesn't give anyone any time to do anything questionable with evidence. So you're getting a larger shot there. You can see now just how close that home is to the water as our affiliate helicopter is flying over this home again in Miami as it is being searched. I want to now bring in our ABC News contributor and former FBI agent Brad Garrett. Brian Buckmeyer, don't go anywhere because I have several more questions for you as well. But Brad, as you're watching this, first of all, can you explain to us, Brad, what that vehicle is that we're seeing right there, that big white truck?
Well, I can't see, I don't have a screen up to see it, but if it looks like a cargo truck or looks like any sort of truck that you could put evidence into. So since we don't know kind of what they're looking for, I can give you a list of what I think they're looking for, is that you have to have a crime scene search vehicle to go in with the various things you need to do to search. So my guess is it's that, because my sense was they weren't going there to arrest anybody. This was to do a search. And so they took everyone probably from the evidence response teams of maybe the FBI and DHS to do this search.
Yeah, so a large vehicle to collect evidence. It does also look like it has some kind of satellite up in the air as well. We're also seeing local news in the area, and you're seeing law enforcement, Brad, sort of walking down a very long driveway to enter the home, and you're not seeing, it's not a chaotic scene at all. Definitely not. And you're right. Our sources are saying that an arrest at this point is not imminent.
Right. So, quickly, why were they able to go in there? To Brian's point, how did they convince a judge to go in there? You have to have a link directly to these 2 houses. In other words, do they have video of some of these acts that are being alleged in either location or both locations? Are there witnesses? People that have come forward? Of course people have come forward. Can they put acts in these houses? Maybe they were there firsthand. Is there CCTV that could be seized? Does he actually have video that he collected while these acts were going on? It's not uncommon in these types of cases. So it's all about what happened in those houses that law enforcement convinced a judge that there may be elements of the crime inside these houses.
All right, thank you so much for that analysis. I also hope we can get some video up of the raid that's happening in Los Angeles as well, so that we can learn a little bit more. But in the meantime, you're saying...
Oh, yes, mad, because Diddy hasn't, I don't know what this is they're showing here now, but Diddy has been quiet, for that whole thing. And then the other day, he pulled up on a Kanye concert with his family, I think they were saying, and he was, outside, showing he don't care again.
Again, more video of P. Diddy there. But again, we are talking right now about a simultaneous search of two of his properties, one happening in Miami, the other one happening in Los Angeles. And we just have some new reporting. We're told here by our ABC's Aaron Katursky that the women who have made public accusations against Diddy are welcoming Monday's law enforcement activity, we're told. In fact, there is a statement from one of their lawyers where they're saying we will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those who have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for what they call his depraved conduct. And so I want to bring back in here Brian Buckmeyer. And Brian, it was the first thing we talked about, right? That this is not the culmination of this. This potentially could.
Shout out Shade Print in the comments, said, yo, it's hip hop Jan 6 out here. It's a madness, that's for sure.
Be the very beginning. So, Brian, what do you make of, first of all, that the lawyers are jumping right out to talk about this immediately, not wasting any time to draw attention to it?
Well, this is beneficial not only for their clients, but also for their cases. If we look to the last alleged victim, Rodney Jones Jr., who came out with allegations that seem to be very similar to Cassie, as well as the other three women who brought allegations, he said that Sean Combs has cameras throughout his home that records a lot of these events. In his complaint, that being Jones Jr.'s, he had snapshots of video that he had taken himself. And so to Brad's point, I think part of this, if the SDNY and the federal government is looking into this from the lens of these civil allegations, is to see how much of it is true. And if any of this is true, could criminal charges be levied against Sean Combs? Now, some of these civil allegations came up because of a look-back window for civil allegations to be brought through New York's Adult Survivor Act. But some of these charges, like sex trafficking, have no statute of limitations, and they have severe penalties under the law. And so law enforcement will be looking at this and saying, if these are true, and there are videos, and there are cameras, or that these allegations can be corroborated through what we find in Sean Combs' home, then they will move to the next step, which would potentially being evidence collecting or arresting someone.
And Brian, if you can, just quickly, while we only have a few more moments here, help our audience understand how far back they're looking. I mean, some of these allegations stem some 30 years ago, right? And they, in some ways, coincide with the uprising of his career.
Yes, a lot of these allegations, just from the lawsuits, I think stem back from 93 or 94 and go all the way up into the production of his latest album in 2023 and 2024. And so we're talking about a long span of time, but even just outside of those lawsuits as well, there has always been these kind of whispers or rumors in the background as to Sean Combs' involvement to various activities. If you're talking about Cassie's allegation of him being part of Kid Cudi's vehicle being exploded, or other allegations of assault or shooting or sexual harassment from Rodney Jones Jr. and the other four alleged victims. This is a long investigation. I think this is only the beginning, because there's a lot to have to corroborate from the people who have come forward, and also a potential of people who we haven't seen come forward to see what evidence they have and to see whether or not it's true, rumor, or something in between.
All right, Brian Buckmeyer and Brad Garrett, thank you so much, both of you, for your expertise. I will be continuing to cover this story as it develops, because again, as we came on the air, that had just happened, and as soon as we learn more, we will bring that to you live. Law enforcement sources.
That's mad. Crazy. I think it's kind of wild that they're not mentioning that he's been connected with Tupac's murder, especially if this is like your things from civil cases have got them investigating, like going to see if they've got evidence just to be found. Do you know what I'm saying? Shade Prince said he must have videos for them to be raiding him like this. Yeah, well, they're at least thinking he could have, innit? They're thinking, right, if this is all gone on, he might have evidence. And then Shade Prince said, was you ever a fan of Diddy? Yeah, bro. Yo, listen. Obviously, I'm a Tupac fan, innit? So I almost, like, by default was anti-Biggie and anti-Bad Boy, right? I acted like that. But I bumped them, do you know what I'm saying? Like, Diddy's first album, P. Diddy and the Family, No Way Out, which looks like what he's going through right now. To me, that album's a classic. I'll put my hands up 100%. Like, that is a classic, that album, to me. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what no underground hip hop heads try to tell me. Sorry, I just realised this light is a bit bright that gone on me today. But yeah, that's That's a classic album, man. But then I didn't ever like him as a person, right? And when he did like Making the Band, and like you saw how he treated his artists, and then all these rumors of how he rips everyone off, I always hated him, right? I was thought, this guy's a scumbag. And then I was saying this to someone the other day, in I don't know, in the last 5-10 years or whatever, he started to kind of do a lot more things and speak on a lot more things socially, right? Sort of social issues. For in a way, Jay-Z has more, as in his older life and older career, he would talk about, you know, how they've got to support black businesses and stuff like that, and he just talk about positive stuff in hip hop that made me kind of respect him. So I came around to liking Diddy in the last like 5 to 10 years, and then all of this has kind of come out and just thrown that away pretty much. I'm saying I was looking to go, you know, him and Gigs were playing, like I was like, oh, I'm gonna get up and get tickets, because I knew they would sell out straight away, and I forgot on the day. I was trying to get tickets to that. I was looking to go, and I watched the whole thing on YouTube recently after all this had come out, and I looked at it and I thought, yo, this is all a bit, yeah, it's all a bit eerie. Do you know what I'm saying? Shade Prince said a Russell Brand arc. Yeah, bro, but like, I liked Russell Brand. I was team Russell Brand for a long time, but my thing is, right, I don't think I was more of a fan of Russell Brand probably, but like my thing is with Russell Brand, for example, like I don't think that he can't have been on the right side of some things and still have done these horrific things. And I think we have to really learn that, because people talk about separating the person from the act and all of that, and I'm not really trying to do that, but I can recognize, okay, because otherwise you start looking at this person and go, oh, that person could never do this because that person's so great and that person represents this and that person. No, people who seem great, who may actually be great in many ways, do horrific things, especially when it comes to men, and horrific things happening to women. It's so normalized. It's so normalized. And if you look through history at there's some great people who we look at as like innovators of people who changed the world and all that. I'm not going to start listing them and all of that, but who, if you look through their history, they've had some questionable things going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that to say forgive them. I'm saying that to say we need to recognize that, so that we don't just make everyone out to either be a monster or be perfect, because it's not that. You know what I'm saying? People have to be held accountable for their actions and be able to change them. Yeah. And if we did that more along the way, maybe it wouldn't have got to this stage where 30 years later, Diddy's been allowed to do whatever he wants all these years, and now they're coming for him. Or like, nah, he's paying for it, as he should. You know what I'm saying? But maybe he should have been held accountable for it beforehand to prevent it. Yeah. So that's why I talk on these things more, because I want to prevent it happening with other people that are doing madness. Now let's stop it from happening.